Breaking news tonight, Graydon is 6'4".
Welcome back to HIVEMIND Unlimited.
Now, I know we don't usually talk about the news on this channel, but today we found a way to do it. We asked our Patreon members to send funny/crazy news headlines to us, and we're gonna rank those tier list style.
Doesn't matter if they were true, if they really happened, or anything. It's just about if they're funny.
Yeah, we don't really have the personnel to be able to fact check stuff.
Absolutely
In
not.
fact, we mostly just tell lies
Yeah.
on this channel.
Yeah.
And the other channels that we have, like HIVEMIND, HIVEMIND Limited.
First one, the result of the 2016 presidential election.
Yeah. That was a funny one.
Yeah.
There's something funny about it. I'll say that. Dark humor for dark times. This first headline comes from Mahoney Soit.
Seems like a legit news source.
World's tallest man takes record for world's longest corpse.
Duh.
Old people do shrink as they get into that old age, that geriatric stage.
Well, yeah, but if you're the world's tallest person and you die, you then have the longest corpse. And one thing I do appreciate here from a journalistic standpoint
Yeah.
is that once you're a corpse, you are no longer tall because you cannot stand. You just become long.
Right.
What was his length
Yeah.
upon death?
The axis changes.
Yeah, you become
based
horizontal.
on your opportunities.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you can't stand up a dead. I know they did in that one movie, but
Right.
The Weekend at Bernie's or whatever.
That's why longest cock means flaccid.
There's a conversation to be had there.
I don't know if
Because
they're...
tallest cock, you could be laying down, and then your dick would be perpendicular to you if you are hard.
a standing erection.
Yes, a standing ovation. And then flaccid would be long.
Yes.
But if you're standing, then it'd be tall's not the right word.
No.
It's not standing up. I don't know. We'll get into that later. Also, tall people don't live that long.
Well, exactly.
Super tall people, their blood flow, it just doesn't work out. So they're probably in their 30s.
And most of them never stop growing. Like when someone becomes the tallest person, it's usually because they have that disease where you just keep on growing.
Yeah.
You can't live that long if you never stop growing.
I think this one started a great conversation.
Yes.
And for that, I would like to award it a B.
I go A with this.
This one from the Jerusalem Post. Asteroid the size of 8 Taylor Swifts to pass Earth Tuesday. NASA.
This is just clickbait perfection, really.
Honestly, it's a bit of an eye roll, though.
Yeah.
It's like, we don't measure things in Taylor Swifts.
Kind of.
We don't.
The Jerusalem Post does.
Like, the Super Bowl could hold 40,000 Taylor Swifts this weekend,
Yeah.
but it held 1.
This isn't that big of an asteroid either. I feel like when asteroids make news, it's like the size of 8 Empire State Buildings. Like, like a population ender.
Yeah, everything in
doomsday.
space is so big that to imagine something this is like a pebble in the universe. I mean, who even cares? I guess the way you make them care is by putting it in Taylor Swift context.
I guess. Asteroid the size of 1 Travis Kelce to pass Earth. Yeah, this is an F.
Yeah, I'll give it a D. Now, this one from the New York Post, a very respected publication.
Murder suspect who used big penis defense found not guilty.
Wow, what's the big penis defense?
I couldn't have done it. I have a big penis. Something along those lines.
Oh, right. It's got to be a penis-related crime, I assume.
Yeah, maybe like a peeking pecker type situation.
Like
Maybe there was like
a glory hole investigation.
Yeah, like a little hole somewhere. All of a sudden, a pecker peeped through, and they were like, "It was you." He's like, "It couldn't have been me." Look at this thing.
If it doesn't fit, you must acquit.
Yes, thank you.
But I'm worried because like any crime involving a penis, I don't like to talk about.
Yeah, but in this case, I guess it was a crime involving a little penis.
Still, yeah.
I mean, that's kind of funny.
I'm gonna give it a C just to be safe.
C for cock.
Yeah, C for C.
I'll give it a D for dick.
Doesn't have to stand for anything. It's just a grading system.
Well, C obviously would stand for cock here, and D would obviously stand for dick. It's the big penis defense.
B for balls, A for ass, F for
What?
flock.
Why would ass matter in this? It wasn't like the fat ass defense.
I mean, and who knows what the other part of the equation is in this crime? I mean, you just never know.
F obviously stands for fucking dick.
And S for?
Schmeckle.
Ugh, that's the worst one. I don't like that you say that. You say it a lot. All right. This one comes from Football Burp. I love this website design. It is so cool. Stories, jokes, predict, fantasy, fire emoji.
Look up fire stuff.
Yeah. Hernanes. It was the saddest backflip of my career.
Woo. I'm assuming maybe Hernanes here does a backflip after they score, and maybe this was the final one. That's what I'm imagining, is that it's like the last goal. Maybe it's like he had announced he was going to retire at the end of this year.
Oh.
Now it's the last game at home, scores a goal, does a backflip, and cries. And they ask him about it. Your signature celebration, you got to use it at your last home game. He says, that was the saddest backflip of my career. That's the context I picture, at least.
And for me, I'm painting a bit of a different picture here.
Yeah.
I'm thinking maybe he's at his 10-year-old daughter's birthday party, and all of her friends obviously know of his athletic career and say, hey, can you do a backflip? Can you do a backflip?
Papa Hernanes.
Please. And then he does one, and he lands on their small dog.
Oh.
Yeah, cracking its bones in many places, making it, what's the word? Perish. Yeah, and that would be the saddest backflip, because not only did you lose a dog, but you didn't impress the 10-year-olds because it wasn't a clean landing.
Would that really be sadder than your last home game? It's just a dog.
You're right. It's probably what you said.
This one gets a C for me.
Yeah, same. From Reductress.
Tofu is gross, says mom while fisting a turkey's ripped out asshole.
This is like Clickhole or The Onion. It's like the whole thing is meant to be funny. So it doesn't get as many points for me. I was looking for something that was unintentionally hilarious.
Right, actual news stuff.
Yeah, like this isn't news as much as it is like a tweet.
Yeah, this is just a mom that says tofu is gross.
Which it is.
Yeah, and also, is that opening on the turkey really its asshole?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's huge.
No, I know.
Imagine when the flesh and feathers are around it, the cloaca zone of the big bird is much smaller than like the cavernous opening that we see on its corpse.
I don't think so.
You think it's just like the bottom of a rocket is what a turkey looks like? Like if you saw a turkey from the back, you'd see into its head or something?
It's not like it's not a pencil sharpener or nothing.
It's not a little guy? I think it is.
I'm saying, I don't know. I think, like, honestly, our assholes are probably a lot bigger than we think they are.
You've seen the back of a chicken, right? I don't know what you mean by that, but you've seen the back end of a chicken.
Because of the cheekage that's around it. There's a lot of cheekage surrounding the ass. It's hard to know.
But we don't, like, have the feathers or anything. So, like, if I were to buy
Speak for yourself, pal.
If I were to buy you at a grocery store, you would come pretty much as is, just sans clothes.
I don't know. I don't know. But I think like that. I have no reason to believe that the turkey's asshole is somehow expanded in post preparation.
I don't think it's expanded. I think it's like opened up. Like after you cut up all the parts that you're not going to eat.
Expanded and opened up. I mean, what are we doing here? What's the difference? I don't like this conversation.
I've seen the back end of a chicken, and it doesn't look like a butchered chicken. Is what I'll say. It looks like a cute little bird hole.
F for me.
F.
The Rolling Stone. Let the green M&M be a nasty little slut. This is not in the Rolling Stone. I refuse to believe this is a real article. It really is. All right, Grant said he clicked on it. Mars Wrigley is trying to make the green M&M wear Larry David sneakers, and we will not stand for it. I've seen too many shirts and hats with like the, make the green M&M hot again. And stuff. The discourse around the green M&M has gotten very stale for me.
It's a funny headline. If that's all we're judging here, let the green M&M be a nasty little slut. It's also taking it a step way farther. Like whether the M&M at any point was sexualized or not, its character wasn't there that it was a slut.
Yeah, canonically, we don't know how many sexual partners the green M&M had.
Yeah.
And we also, the term slut is a whole different conversation as well.
Right.
What makes a person a slut?
I guess if you had a threesome with Mr. Peanut and like the Pepperidge Farm girl, that would be kind of slutty. The Pepperidge Farm princess.
I'm just struggling to see the difference between sexually adventurous and slutty.
Right. I think they're synonymous.
I don't think so. One is very positive context. Slut is, it's, you know, the tide is turning a
I've
little bit.
reclaimed it.
Yeah, I think it's being reclaimed.
Yeah.
And that's cool. I mean, if you like call yourself a slut and you're happy about it, I like that. And if you're calling other people sluts and you mean it in some sort of negative way, then like I don't like that.
I think that goes for most words. Like if I said I'm a nasty little fucker and I did something like that, that's cool. And people would have to
That
support
was cool?
it. Yeah.
Oh.
But if I looked at you and I said, you're a nasty little fucker, that's bad.
I liked that more.
See, that's weird.
But I did get a rise. Like, you know the
Yeah.
rise thing? Like, when you feel it, it almost feels like you're kind of carbonated water or something.
A
and,
Jones
like,
in the bones.
yeah, Jones in the bones, exactly. You feel it kind of rise up in you. I
Yeah.
felt excited.
You'd probably like being called a nasty little slut then.
Go ahead.
I say I'm not. That's not my.
Go ahead, please.
That's not my. That's
Please.
well
It's
out of
really
my
the
pay
only
grade.
thing that can make me feel okay right now. Please do
okay.
it. Please do it. Please do it.
Nope.
Okay, whatever.
This gets like a C for me. This is middle of the road. I like the Larry David sneakers.
Yeah, I'll give it a D. I think it's trying too hard. All right, this one from AP, which I am assuming is alt press.
This is caught at border with pythons in his pants. New York City man fined and sentenced to probation.
Do you think that this is tied into the big penis crime?
No, this is a classic snake smuggler.
Oh, a snake smuggler. Yeah.
This guy tried to pass off having maybe a giant penis and was like,
That's not a. It's just my cock.
I don't think that's the reason people smuggle snakes.
well, it's not the reason, but maybe someone like at the TSA, whatever the border equivalent of the TSA is, maybe they're called like Border Patrol or something. They were like, hey, sir, what's that in your pants? It's moving. He was like, it's my cock.
Pythons are rather large.
Yeah, but these could be babies.
What? Say that? What was
This
that?
could be baby pythons.
Oh, okay.
Baby snakes.
How big is a baby python? Really?
Probably, yeah.
Grant has informed us that ball pythons as hatchlings measure between 6 and 12 inches long. How tall?
Probation's not a bad sentence for smuggling snakes. You take a bunch of critters out of the jungle. Probation's what? Nothing. You have to be in by 9 o'clock.
This is a New York City man. Was he smuggling snakes from somewhere else into New York City? Or was he taking snakes from New York City to Canada and or Mexico?
No matter where he goes, he's a New York City man.
Oh, that's
If
true.
that's
It
where
could
his
be
residence.
any border. Yeah.
Yeah. What's Super Tuesday up there?
Super Tuesday. That's right before Ash Wednesday. It's when everybody eats punchkis. It used to be called Fat Tuesday.
And then
But-
the connotation.
Yeah, you can't really say that anymore.
Super Fat Slut Tuesday. Can I say that?
I wouldn't.
Oh, okay.
Not again, at least. Once is fine.
I'm a slut for some punchkis. I'll say that. Those are delicious.
That's fine. You sound like a 36-year-old mom.
Thank you. This one's interesting, and I'd like to know a little more behind it, so I'm going to give it a B.
I'll give it a Q. All right, Orlando Weekly. Disney erects giant Woody at Hollywood Studios.
This is just like someone who knows they're leaving their job soon.
Yeah. Or just an intern who couldn't resist.
Yeah.
It's like what SNL would write as a fake headline in like a sketch or something. It's just too obvious.
Oh, I'd love when this happens, though. Because this is the only time you can get away with putting a Rex giant Woody in the news, is when this happens. And as a journalist, you have to take advantage of those opportunities.
I don't know. It doesn't do much for me, you know? I don't know.
It's all right. Tom Hanks' giant Woody erected at
Oh,
Hollywood
wait.
Studios.
The last guy had snake in his pants, and Woody had a snake in his boot.
There you go.
Yeah, there's something, right?
And he's not on probation. He's just a little toy. I like this. This is an A for me.
I give it a D. This one from VCR, Classic Rock and Culture.
Come together. Paul McCartney recalls Beatles group masturbation sessions.
This is a classic story.
Is it? I'm not even familiar.
You've never heard this story.
They would jerk off on each
Yeah,
other?
they did a jerk circle.
Just once, or?
Oh, no, multiple times. There's a famous, like, one that everybody talks about. Yeah, they jerked
Wow.
off together. I believe they were on psychedelics when they did it. Is
Oh,
that
for
the story?
sure. That makes sense.
I think that they were on acid, but I could be wrong. I could be, like, meshing two stories together.
Yeah.
But yeah, Ringo came first.
Really? Do they know the order?
Oh, yeah, there's stats for it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, fastest time Ringo. The average length during, and I'm talking about physical length, was John had that on lock. But George worked it up to a place where he actually passed him by a quarter of an inch.
Oh, wow. Prolonged grower.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good for
It
George.
took him a second to get there.
Rest in peace, too, to all of the members of that band that have since perished.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Totally, yeah.
I'm assuming Paul had the biggest load.
I forget, because there are conflicting reports about that.
Right.
They say, I mean, it's between John and Paul, obviously.
Yeah. I'm assuming they all kind of mixed together at one point, and it was hard to decipher whose was whose.
Right. There were some scientists kind of like working at analyzing that footage, droplet by droplet, and yeah, it gets...
Technology's not there yet.
Yeah, wasn't at the time, and we'll get there eventually, but yeah.
One day we'll know.
Come together right now.
This is an awesome headline, though.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I wasn't even familiar with this. I know what I'm doing tonight.
What exactly?
I'm gonna take psychedelics and masturbate with the ghosts of John Lennon and George Harrison. A for me.
A for me. Fox 19 now. Ohio man facing charges for having sex with a picnic table.
Who's pressing charges? The picnic table? Local bench very upset.
Where did it go? In the cracks?
Oh. I'm just imagining like a freak rubbing all over it.
But I feel like sex implies, and I know that there are plenty of definitions of what sex can be nowadays. It doesn't just mean penetration, obviously.
Yeah.
But I think it's hard without an orifice or kind of an appendage. It's difficult for me to see how the picnic table would be engaging in sex.
If the cops found a lunatic man just rolling around hard and eventually, I'm assuming, satisfying themselves, instead of doing the long-winded, man rubs and rolls on picnic table until completion, they would just say having sex with picnic table.
But was the picnic table satisfied?
I mean, I doubt it.
Okay.
You ever try and make another person come? It's hard enough, let alone timber. That's what woodpeckers do, right?
What?
They make trees come. I don't know.
Oh,
seems like if trees were going to get any sort of sexual pleasure, it would probably come from the form of a woodpecker or squirrels burrowing inside of them, and it would tickle or something.
I bet this guy had a woodpecker by the end of it. Holy shit, splinters and shit.
Yeah,
and
that's
stuff like that. Yeah.
This one's great. Shout out Ohio, and free my dad. This one's an S.
Yeah, I'll give this an S as well. New York Post. New York City men paying plastic surgeons $5,000 for almond-shaped nipples like David Beckham's. A growing trend.
Almond-shaped? They're like little teardrops?
I'm still processing. The words don't really make sense here. New York City men, so this is more than one man.
Multiple.
Many men, shout out to 50, have been paying surgeons $5,000 for nipples like David Beckham's, which are shaped like an almond.
A growing trend.
I feel like it'd be a shrinking trend.
For you, it would be. Because you have huge nipples.
You have said in multiple videos how it's weird that I have such tiny nipples.
Never said that.
You literally have said that.
I saw them today, and they look big and beefy.
They're rather small. Abnormally, I'd say.
And an almond would be smaller?
I don't know. I've never seen an almond up close. I'm allergic, but...
Seen pictures of them.
I didn't know David Beckham's nipples had... I don't know.
Are you serious?
No, I don't know. I wasn't...
Everybody knows he's the man with almond nipples.
Really?
England's almond-nippled soccer sexy guy.
And that guy's nipples are nuts.
$5K seems like a good price.
Yeah, for some reason that doesn't seem like a lot right now.
I spent $5K on lunch today.
Would you have almonds?
Yeah, I did. Almonds that looked like little David Beckham's.
This one's like a C for me. I'm confused about it.
I like it. The confusion aids me. I'm going A.
The Toronto Star.
3 men sentenced for $18 million Quebec maple syrup heist. I remember this one.
You remember this, huh?
Yeah, this is legendary.
Okay, can you explain how syrup could be $18 million?
No.
Oh.
But I remember it.
Is it syrup or syrup?
Whatever you want.
Is it both? Is that one of
Neither
those?
one bothers me. And that's rare. Usually when there's a divide on a word, one pisses me off. Like pecan, for example. That makes me upset.
I feel like I used to say syrup growing up, and enough people have like called it out and made fun of me for it that now I say syrup.
Yeah.
And I get annoyed when people say syrup, which is just like that's like the only one that's been like that.
You've been brainwashed.
I don't know if it's brainwashing. I just think it's like, I don't know, social conditioning.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm growing. And Quebec, it's Quebec or Quebec?
I think they would say Quebec.
Yeah. Honestly, I feel like Toronto Star should keep out of the business of the Quebec people.
That's where I saw it. Netflix.
What?
There's a whole documentary on this.
How did that jog your memory? It's like you said it almost like something I said. I'm confused.
You said something?
I said that Toronto should keep its business out of the Quebec people's business.
That's where I put my house keys. I'm just remembering.
What?
They're in my top drawer. Yep. That is
I
it.
said nothing of the sort. I was talking about the syrup heist, and I just thought that the Toronto news publications should maybe focus on Toronto.
Fuck, what day is it? Oh my God, I gotta pick my kid up from school.
You have a kid?
Well, I'm watching a kid today, and when it's my day, it makes it easier for me just to say that it's my kid.
Whose kid is it?
Oh my God. I never let the bird back in its cage.
Why are you having so many realizations?
Oh, fuck. Today's the day the cat shows up. That is
The
bad
cat
news.
shows up? You have a
Yep, I Amazoned a cat last night. I was a little drunk, and I was doing a little drunk shopping, and I one-nighted myself a fresh new kitty cat. And I forgot to...
my gosh.
What?
My 10-pound shipment of kettle corn comes in today, and I'm not going to be at the apartment.
Oh, shit, man.
I'm going to have to call my neighbor after this.
Yeah.
Oh, and Davey's pissed at me because I left my garbage can out, and he said I was going to get a ticket from the city.
Yeah, you probably will. All right, well, realizations aside, I love this story, and as I remember, the documentary was just okay. So I'll give it an A.
I want to know what $18 million of syrup looks like. So, B. The Independent. Paralyzed man communicates first words in months using brain implant. I want a beer.
Me as fuck, bro. This is literally me.
They did a brain implant that worked?
Yeah, they've done a bunch.
Have they?
I mean, this isn't Neuralink specific, but like it's just firing electricity into certain parts of the brain that are like dormant or whatever.
Okay, so it's not, is it like a whole new brain?
No, they like go in, they like put a little, it's like a jump starter.
Okay, so the implant, it's not like the brain is an implant. It's like the brain is getting an implant.
Yes, brain implant.
Ah, okay, because they did a head implant. They did the one
Right.
on the kid on the bike,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
And that didn't work.
Right, nothing works, ever.
This is the kind of guy Miller Lite should send like 10,000 beers to his house.
Me or the guy from the...
Them.
Oh, okay, cool. I've got a bunch of kettle corn coming, and so...
Beer
honestly,
goes
what
good
would
with
I
kettle
do
corn.
with beer, though? I can't drink beer.
Yeah, but it washes down kettle corn nice.
Not for me. I'm allergic.
Well, sure, but you may be a guest or something.
That's, what did you say, 10 million beers? How many
I
beers?
said 10,000.
10,000 beers, too many.
That's like 4 guests.
That's way too many. I don't have enough space in my house. I don't know. This is like if it's like a baby's first words or whatever. Like, oh, I want a beer. I don't know.
Why is he a baby? This is a paralyzed man who hasn't talked in months.
In a lot of ways, he could be considered born again. Wouldn't you say that's the truth?
No,
Wouldn't you agree with that?
not really. This is an S for me.
I'll give it a C. TMZ.
Tyler, the Creator. I didn't split milkshake with Bieber. That's gay.
This one is awesome. I don't know. I think it's funny.
The direct quote is, I didn't split milkshake with Bieber. That's the funniest part to me. What is there, like a photo circulating of them sharing a milkshake or something? Where's this question even, how's this even get posed?
Yeah, I think early in Tyler's career, he was hanging out with Justin Bieber a lot. And It
Yeah.
was like a thing. And so there's like a picture. And then this is his response to it, which is like most things at the time.
Right.
Tyler had something to say that would become news. You know, like he said when Frank Ocean came out of the closet, he said he always liked Pop-Tarts without frosting. So I knew something was up.
They make those?
Yeah.
Ugh.
I mean, it's like a better Nutri-Grain bar
Justin Bieber's not gay either.
that we know of. Yeah.
It's true.
What Justin Bieber does in his private time is completely up to him, and I have no opinions about it. I have no
He did
opinions
have
about
that creepy relationship with that pastor. We know how those have gone in the past.
it. Yeah, that wouldn't be up to Justin Bieber, though.
Huh?
He was a child, so I'm
No,
saying...
this was when he was an adult.
Really?
Yeah, this was like a couple years. This was like when he was coked out.
Oh, I had no idea about this.
It was like a beanie jogger wearing pastor who had like a wooden cross on a long necklace and a deep V-neck. Are you seeing the picture I'm painting?
Totally, I know exactly who that is.
Like take him on a trip to Puerto Rico to get closer to God.
Yeah.
Those kind of youth church freaks. Sometimes there's sexy stuff going on there.
I wouldn't call it sexy stuff. I'd say usually there's something wrong there.
Well, yeah, but I guess I was more trying to imply that in this situation with Bieber, if this hypothetical was consensual, that's sexy and that's okay with me. I was trying to do that.
Ooh,
I wasn't
like
trying to imply that
right.
the history of abuse that exists in the Catholic Church is by any means sexy. Not okay with that. Unless, of course, there's the rare situation where maybe a young person wanted to become a faith leader of sorts and then fell in love with the teacher or something. In that case, that's sexy.
No,
that's cool with me.
That's not.
If they're of age and they both are into it.
You said a young person.
Well, like I meant like 20-something. Oh, God,
Yeah.
man. Oh, brother. Listen.
This is like Spotlight meets Call Me By Your Name. I mean, jeez.
Diddling your congregation is bad. I'll say that. And I will also say a secret romantic relationship between two adults, even if one of them is a father of some kind. Oh, fuck, dude. I don't know. Kill the Pope. I don't know.
No, don't say no.
Fuck.
Yeah.
This is so hard to get out of now.
Yep.
Fucking shit.
Wow.
Bring back Jesus and let's fuck him.
No, the first part.
Shit.
No.
Oh, shit. God was gay.
We don't know. I don't think
It'd be cool if he was.
totally, but God
Thank you.
doesn't exist.
Thank you. Now that we're finally on the same page, let's move on with this.
He will come again.
This is a D.
This gets an A for me. I think it's funny. New York Post, once again. El Chapo's granddaughter, 18, joins hunt for Loch Ness Monster while romping through Scotland.
That is awesome.
This one is just a great combination of words. It's
Yeah.
not really like all of the other ones. It's just so random. El Chapo's granddaughter, who is 18 years old, joins the hunt for the Loch Ness Monster.
Yeah. As if it's like a real active hunt.
It is.
Okay, the Loch of Ness is only so big.
Totally.
There's not like patrol boats out there every day looking through it. And if there were, the hunt would be over in about 2 days and they'd be like, didn't find nothing.
I don't know. I think there are more dedicated people than you think.
Well, for sure, but the dedicated hunters are like sitting on the beach and they're like, what's that?
I think some of them are divers. I mean, like sometimes a kid will go missing and near a lake or whatever.
Yeah.
And they send a team out for 5 days. They don't find the kid.
Right.
And then like 6 weeks later, somebody's like, collecting shells for their niece or something. And then they find the dead kid body.
Yeah.
And they go, how did you guys not find this? The lake's only so big.
But that's a dead kid. We're talking about a mythical monster here. Like if we thought it was really in there and we allocated even the slightest bit of resources, let's say a quarter of what we do when we're out here looking for dead kids, and we really put our heads to it and looked for this monster, we'd come to the concrete conclusion that it is not there.
See, I think what you're doing here is you're talking about size. Because the Loch Ness Monster
Right.
is bigger
Yes.
in that small body of water. So a
Yes.
dead kid,
Be a little more
obviously-
elusive.
Yeah. See, but here's the thing. What you're not accounting for is dead kid, small and stationary. Loch Ness Monster, big and slippery.
But
It's a big slippery beast.
dead kids are floating all about. And they're getting dragged around by fish. If a bass bumps a dead kid, it could move 20 to 30 feet underwater.
That's just not true.
Sure.
Water is that doesn't matter. I'm saying the Loch Ness Monster doesn't want to be found. That's the other thing.
Okay, it's
and a
an
lot of people
old
think it can
reptile.
burrow underground, even beneath the Earth's crust.
Hope it doesn't burrow too deep.
Burrow.
All right.
Fuck.
My point is we are wasting valuable resources looking for kids we know are dead. And if we used a quarter of those resources to look for the Bigfoot, look for the Loch Ness Monster,
Now I like where you're
hold
going.
an alien captive in Times Square and let us all poke him and spit on him.
Clear glass box. You're thinking the
teach
same
them
thing?
how we really get down here.
I'm on that
which is
subreddit,
fucked
too.
up bullying stuff. Like I want to bully that alien into submission.
Absolutely.
Let them know who's a punk ass little gray.
We have been watching the same YouTube videos. I'll tell you that much.
best one yet. S.
S for me as well. Shout out to El Chapo. Daily Mail.
Engineer who demanded $1.8 million payout because his boss, Mr. Stinky, repeatedly thrusted his bum and farted near him, loses bullying case on appeal. But the court battle isn't over.
Oh, okay. So the engineer lost the bullying case?
Yeah. The person getting farted on lost because Mr. Stinky, which I'm assuming it's in quotes like that because the boss referred, this is part of the bit.
Right.
The boss would come up and be like, uh-oh, here comes Mr. Stinky.
Yeah.
And just rip a couple on his engineer.
And I feel like that appeal was probably lost because that's just classic workplace horseplay.
I don't think it's appropriate at all.
You've done much worse here.
Yeah, but this is like, I own the business, so it's whatever.
The boss's name is Mr. Stinky.
Yeah.
That's the boss of the engineer. It's the same situation.
Yeah, but when I hear words like engineer and boss, I'm imagining this is like mid-level management to like newly hired engineer, probably right out of school or something. And it's like this huge chain of command. We're like 4 guys in an office.
Yeah, but you just said because you're the boss,
Right.
you can do it. Like, you can pee in Grant's lunch.
That bit was more about how far away I could do it. It wasn't just that I could do it. Like, it was like a feat. It was multiple feet.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
It was a yard, at
Yeah.
least. But I understand that bit. I like that bit.
Thanks.
But you didn't have to tie Grant up in the closet and not let him watch.
It would have upset him if he would have watched.
I mean, I think it upset him because you peed all over his lunch. I think it would have been cooler to him if he could have seen the length and kind of the arc, like the whole thing of it. Because that was the cool part. I mean, you'll admit that was the cooler part was the distance that you could pee, not like wetting the lunch with urine.
Yes, correct.
So how is that appropriate for a workplace? But Mr. Stinky thrusting his bum and farting near his employee is not.
You got me there.
Yeah, because I mean, I think this is just workplace horseplay.
Yeah.
If Mr. Stinky had farted on him and then, took his kneecap out with a hammer,
Well,
or
that's
something
even
like that,
funnier.
it's much funnier. But
Yeah.
then if he had peed in someone's lunch, then I'd say, all right, Mr. Stinky, let's take you to court.
I'd be too embarrassed to go to court over this. Like, if I got farted on, I want to be like, I'm taking you to court, buddy.
Yeah.
I'd be like, I'm fucking out this bitch. This is weird as fuck. Why do you keep calling yourself Mr. Stinky? Like, this is a fucked up workplace. Yeah, this is good. This is an A.
I give this a B. Yahoo News. Korean doctor says those who haven't contracted COVID-19 have no friends.
I guess that's kind of true, though. Your best chance of contracting COVID-19 is, like, hanging out with the buddies.
Yeah, because you got to be in an enclosed space with people
Chopping it up.
breathing their air for a long time.
And you have to allow yourself to be vulnerable. That's how you get disease.
Yeah, totally.
If you keep your emotional walls up, you'll never get sick.
Also, if you're making out with people, having sex,
Like a mouth fucking.
yeah, sexing with
Yeah.
people, then you really could get it. And guess what, guys?
What?
I've gotten it 5 times. 5-timers club.
Oh, for COVID.
Yeah.
I guess I wouldn't know how many times I've gotten it because I have never been tested. 0 test club.
What? Really? You told me.
Zilcho. Oh, I just use the same picture. I actually use a pregnancy test some of the times because that always comes up negative for me for whatever reason. I'll send a picture of that to the old boss, man. I'll say, "Oh, good, I'm coming into work."
You're the boss.
Thank
Once
you.
again. No,
Thank you.
I don't know who you're
I'll
sending this to.
DM myself a picture of a negative pregnancy test on Instagram, and I'll say, "I'm good to go."
Whatever. This is an S.
Yeah, this is good stuff. Shout out Korea.
NME.
Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey sent beard shavings to Azalea Banks so she could make an amulet to protect him from ISIS.
Grant really did check that all of these were real, and this one is. It's unbelievable.
ISIS isn't trying to hurt you, Jack Dorsey. I hate to break it.
They might be.
Really?
They might be.
Yeah, he did take their Twitter down, which was a bad move, honestly.
Yeah.
I don't like the guy who's running it more now, but he is all about ISIS Twitter. He lets them go.
Yeah.
Lets them speak, and that's some good content on there. They're
See-
really funny tweets.
And here's the other thing, too, is like, we should have a little more freedom of speech on there just for dry snitching. Like, these people will snitch on themselves. And I'm not talking about ISIS. I'm saying
Right.
everybody who does bad things.
Yeah, they
like,
eventually incriminate themselves.
if you just take away free speech on the internet from a bunch of different places, then we don't know what they're up to either.
I kind of miss Al Qaeda, though. I'll tell you that. I know they're still around, but they're not the hot topic anymore.
Yeah. I don't even remember what he looks like. Al Qaeda.
There's got to be a white guy out there whose name is Alvin Qaeda.
Albert.
And he's like,
Qaeda.
no, it's Qaeda, please.
Yeah.
Like, all right, Al Qaeda. I love this as just a bunch of words, and I love the idea of Jack Dorsey being living in such fear of ISIS that he would go to this extent.
I love that Azalea Banks needs his beard shavings to make an amulet.
Yeah,
I give that an S.
this is an S.
ATI. How 90 Day Fiancé star Stephanie Matto ended up hospitalized after eating too many beans to sell farts. Hospitalized.
You got to go to the hospital if you eat too many beans? No one told me that.
I think there's a threshold for beans, yeah. I think there's like, some, it's not like unlimited beans.
Yeah.
You know, eventually you go to the hospital.
College was like unlimited beans for me. I had that prescription.
It's right up before the shortage. God
Jesus,
damn.
man. I was a river of Vyvanse. I was the river of Vyvanse.
Yeah, that's what
And
they
I
called
baptized a lot of people in it.
you. Absolutely.
Said, come here, my child.
Would you like to take that C to a B+?
Do you like to stay up for 14 more days?
Have you been sleeping?
you
No
like-
more of that. There will
cut
be no
that
more, no more of that. Yep.
Sick of getting too hard? We can nip that in the bud right now, forever. Shut that thing off. You want to pee a little bit, and when you're done, you still feel like you really got to pee? Do you want to do that for a couple days?
Do you want to all of a sudden realize you've been sweating profusely for 3 hours?
You want to chew your fingers off past the nails? This is a bad one, though. I don't like this. I don't fucking know who Stephanie Matto is. I wouldn't buy her stupid fucking farts. And you know what? She probably deserves to be in the hospital. Bean-eating freak selling her gas.
I didn't watch 90 Day Fiancé, but this is one that I might still click on. There's enough there for me. It's got the beans thing
Yeah.
and this person selling farts, and
Yeah.
I want to see how many beans does it take to get into the hospital.
And did the price of the farts go up a lot after they got hospitalized?
True.
So maybe it worked in their favor after all.
Oh, it was a publicity stunt.
Yeah,
to
like
sell
I
more
got the
farts.
last of the pre-hospital farts.
Right.
Like that batch is more sought after. Like someone has a vintage from 2012. I don't know. Is this right? Or is this? Imagine the fart is small.
I bet the jar is big, though.
You think so?
Probably not huge, but some sort of, like a 20 ounce, like a Dr. Pepper.
Ooh, all right. For some reason I like Mr. Stinky a lot more than Stephanie. This is like a B for me.
This is Mrs. Stinky.
Yeah.
Or Miss. I don't know if the
if your
fiance
fiancé didn't
ship
work
worked
out.
out. Yeah, it could be Miss Stinky. This one from the New York Times, the failing New York Times.
Our kids are living in a different digital world. Do you know what a Zimbabwe is? Or an upper decky lip pillow? Okay, here's an easier one. How about just Zin?
Now, I don't do the Zins, and I've heard people say Zimbabwe and upper dicky lip pillow.
Upper what?
Upper dicky lip pillow?
What?
An upper dicky lip pillow.
Okay, that's what I thought you said the first 3 times, but I just wanted you to repeat it a few more. Have you ever heard of a Zinachino?
Like a Starbucks thing or something?
Yeah.
Why do they say Zinachino, though, actually?
It's just fun,
No, but I mean, is it supposed to be like a cappuccino?
I guess. Yeah, or like a capuchin monk.
It doesn't rhyme at all.
I'm a Zinchuchin monk.
Doesn't sound like that either, really.
Yeah.
If you
People like it,
I'm
man.
just
It's
saying
fun.
Zinachino. It's like it has no rhyming anything.
Upper decky lip pillies, Ferda. People say stuff like that.
See, I don't get it.
They're like
man.
little frat freaks. They like say funny stuff, and then it enables other people's addictions when they give it cute names. Like if we would have thought of a cute name for shooting up heroin, maybe it'd be a little more trendy. I'm about to do a big Ron Jeremy later. You know what I mean? Me and my boys.
Yeah, I mean they did. They had names for stuff though.
Yeah, but they didn't have TikTok.
Right. What is it? Isn't it the dog? Don't they call it the dog?
Dog food.
Dog food.
People call heroin dog food.
Yeah.
That's not like fun though.
Doing heroin?
Well, calling it dog food isn't as fun as saying, I'm the president of Zimbabwe because you've done a whole tin today. I mean, that's fun.
That I like Zimbabwe.
Yeah.
Because that works as wordplay
Right.
as well. What I don't like is Zinachino.
Right.
Because it doesn't rhyme with cappuccino and it's not a drink.
But a lot of people start their days with it, I guess.
Just feels like there's
I know,
gotta be a
yeah.
better
It's got to be
option,
funnier.
right?
Yeah, I
There's
mean, there
gotta
are
be.
some. You're the wordplay guy.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of like drinks like
Zinnius and Ferb. That's like me and my boy who doesn't sin.
Zinnius and herb. Like you're doing Zin
And you're smoking
and
weed.
you're smoking weed.
Yeah. They call me Zin Wolfhard or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Stranger Things guy.
Yeah.
I'm like Chucky Zinster from Rugrats.
I am going to the Wizard of Oz because I'm the Zin Man and I don't have a heart.
Osama Bin Laden.
Perfect. Now we finally kind of hit it on the head.
It's like we have to get there eventually. Yeah.
Yeah. This one's good. I like this.
I don't like it.
I like it because it reminds me of like when we were young and they invented texting. Yeah, that was a thing when we were young. And they would run like news articles that would like tell parents what all the abbreviation in like T9 text was.
Like LOL and
Right.
Raffle.
And then they'd have
LMAO.
ones in there that we'd never use, and it'd be like, I have drugs and the cops are here. Or something. It'd be like an abbreviation. You'd be like, what the fuck? No one says this. Like, leave the heroin by the back door. It's all abbreviated. And you're like, no one, really? I don't think this is a thing.
Yeah, it's like
My mom would be like, I know what you said.
I'm having premarital sex.
So yeah, it's kind of reminiscent of that for me, which is funny because I'm imagining some like 15-year-olds out there are now like getting caught. Because like if they said upper dicky lip pillow in front of their parents before, their mom would be like, what did you say? And they'd be like,
Yeah.
and now mom's like, I know what that fucking is.
Yeah, because I am on the internet as much as you are.
What?
The mom is saying
Yeah.
because the mom is on the internet as much as the kid is.
Yeah.
Which is like gonna be the thing. Like
Right.
you know, we have the exact same lingo as an 18-year-old right now. We don't say all of it the same way,
Right.
but we understand what they're fucking saying.
True. Yeah.
When they say like
I met a 18-year-old who was from Mexico, I think, the other day, and I couldn't understand a word though. So their slang seems to be a little different.
that's
Their slang is super different,
just
actually.
a language
I didn't
barrier.
pick up one word.
Right, yeah. That's not
I recognized por favor, and that was about it. And I'm not sure what that one means. But the slang there seems to be a lot different.
okay, but an 18-year-old from Michigan comes up to you and says skibbity toilet, you know what they're talking about.
I wish I did, but yeah, I'd kind of vibe with it a little more, I guess.
Or like, you know, Gat and Riz and all that shit.
Yeah. This one's good, though. I like it. This is a C.
D for digital. Global news.
Man shoots armadillo. Bullet bounces. Hits fence. Goes through door. Hits mother-in-law. Wow, that armadillo, it was really looking out.
The bullet hits the armadillo's shell. Ding! And then it bounces, it hits a fence, goes through a door, and hits the mother-in-law of the armadillo?
No, the man.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes more sense, because I didn't know armadillos could have mothers-in-law.
Yeah, they can't because
Right.
they're sexual deviants.
I think it's more because the law doesn't really
Recognize them.
handle armadillo marriages.
Yeah.
That's handled
used
somewhere
to.
else. Yeah, I know. Yeah, back in the good old days.
Yeah, we had to surrender that right,
Uh-huh.
which is kind of fucked up.
Love is love unless you're an armadillo.
Yeah.
Yep.
They do have whatever, hepatitis, leprosy.
Yeah. I didn't know that.
They're full of terrible diseases.
I have to go back to my apartment after this video. I have got an issue.
This is awesome. I mean, this is like every guy's dream, really. One, to watch a bullet ricochet off an armadillo. Great day.
Ricochet off anything.
Yeah, I mean, that's...
Yeah.
But like a little animal goes into a circular defense and the bullet actually skips off of it. That's like witnessing God's genius right there in front of you. You're like,
Totally.
and then for that to go into your house and strike your mother-in-law, who I'm sure is a bitch, like, and that's just got to be, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I want to know if the ricochet makes the sound it does in all the movies. Like the you know, like it does like a thing. I want to see.
does.
I want to see the Foley, the real life
Yeah.
Foley on that.
Yep, this is perfect. This is an S.
I'll give it an S as well.
Hope the armadillo's all right.
I hope the mother-in-law died. All right, this one from Consequence. Mark Zuckerberg says Meta employees lovingly refer to him as the Eye of Sauron. I've seen this before.
Yep.
That's true. I don't think the employees lovingly do anything to Mark Zuckerberg. He's a confusing individual.
Well, to him and freak nerds of the like, being called anything from Lord of the Rings is like a high praise.
Yeah, totally.
And the Eye of Sauron obviously is so powerful.
Is it Sauron or Sauron? I know I said Sauron, but this is another one of those syrup debates, I think.
Yeah, and that's fine.
I haven't seen the movies in a while.
Yeah, they are great.
Really good ones, yeah.
Really excellent movies.
Yeah. That's about as much fuel as I have for Mark Zuckerberg.
Same.
I think we move on.
Yep.
Yeah. Some nerd shit. I'll give it a C.
I'll give it an F.
From Ralshi, does Bruno Mars is gay? This seems more like a quiz than a news headline. I'd say no, but hey, well, what do I know? And I don't care.
I'd say probably is.
Really?
I'd say he probably is gay. I'm a betting man, and it seems like the juice would be on him being gay. So
Well, you were the first person. You actually placed a bet when odds were plus 500 on him being short, Filipino, and a good dancer.
yeah, I got in on that early.
Yeah, that was a crazy.
Because people heard his voice
play.
and thought he was a tall white guy and a bad dancer. Bruno Mars can be whatever he wants to be.
Yeah, that's
and I'd be
true.
all right with it. As long as he keeps fucking singing like that and fucking dancing.
24 karat magic
Yeah.
in the air.
I don't care if he wanted to fuck a horse.
Head to toe, so play it.
Bruno Mars could fuck a horse and I'd buy his next album. Physical copy.
Put your pinky fingers to the moon.
Bruno Mars could put an owl inside of a horse and then fuck it. Like a
Uptown,
turducken
funk you
type
up.
situation.
Uptown funk you up. I said, yeah, uptown funk a horse. Uptown funk a horse.
I'm giving this an A. I like it.
Yeah, sure. B. A or B.
Those were the funniest news headlines you guys could round up. Could have done better, but this was really fun. I love reading zany shit like this.
Yeah, I hope this opens up the floodgates. Join our Patreon. We'll probably do another one of these because this is really fun. And you can respond to the posts in there and send links to funny news headlines. And we'll do another one of these. This has been HiveMind Unlimited. I hope you enjoyed this video. We enjoyed making it. And also we have new merch out.
Here's like what a headline from our tour would be like.
Sure.
It'd be like 2 quirked up white freaks wreak havoc on eastern seaboard. Something.
I like that. Yeah.
Mr. Stinky. Zinny news stories. Fuck, I don't know, dude. I'm out. Bye, guys.
All right. We'll see you in the next one, guys.